on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, discord popping. Somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, three wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, discord popping. Somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night. Engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't live.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the 191 Motorsports Gen 6 Series. We're here at the beautiful Kansas Speedway for 125 laps under the lights. So, I'm happy to see this for sure. And I love these cars sparkling under the lights here, especially at Kansas. A track that can and hopefully will provide multiple grooves here tonight. I know some cars, when you come here, depending on the track temperature, depending on the car, you may see a single groove kind of form at the bottom. You may see one form all the way up the top of the wall. Hopefully we'll see a couple different ones here. Passing will not just be a premium. Carl Hamburg joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back here in Kansas, we've had plenty of races here in Kansas.
Yeah, we've covered many races here at Kansas, and another evening here with a 191 Motorsports here. Gen 6 cars, my favorite car here, are at the service. It's just unfortunate that it's the legacy car and doesn't get too much love from iRacing. So the drivers are out there now putting into qualifying times and seeing what they can do here. It's going to be underneath the lights, 125 laps. They call it the cookie cutter, but down that front stretch, Carl, that below the white line is inviting here, and it can and will more than likely bite somebody here tonight if they're not careful. So definitely going to be interesting to see how they handle that. I know some leagues allow you to go down there, some do not. I like when they do not, but it does stir up things. People just have to pay attention. You go down there to make a move. The driver that's above the white line does not need to move, so that could drive you down underneath on the apron going in a corner, and you either let them go by and you lose your spot, or you stay up there and you might be involved into an incident. But the guy down to the inside, I'm sure he's not going to want to back off. He's down there for a reason. But it would be their fault in my opinion, because you go below the apron, it's not the racing line. But anyways, we're going to be out here for 125 laps. Drivers are starting to they got the qualifying results in, so go ahead and empty the screen here for you. Bring up the qualifying results here for tonight, and your pole sitter is going to be the number 7 of Billy Ricketts, still searching for that elusive win here with 191 Motorsports. Bryce Lassier will be in P number 2 with Gary Breland in second, Michael Rakes in P number 4, and then back in row number 3, Zane Bierman with Travis Noble, Tony Brennan and Michael Casey make up row number 4, Heasy Hardy and Andrew Jones in row number 5. Row number 6, Douglas Ivey and Zach Pierre. Matthew Jordan and Richard Hartman back in row number 7. Ken Yule, Mitchell Semidu with Thomas Osborne, and then Shane Wielden to finish out your top 18. And then I lost my mouse. There it goes. The rest of the field here is going to be in 19th, Dale Garner Jr., Bryson Anderson, Chris Perry, Paul Helms, Scott Henderson, Steve Harris, Tanner McAllister, and Wade Inyart for a 26 car field here tonight, ready to rock and roll as they are sitting on the pit lane waiting for that pace car to pull up.
You're going to say Wade Inyart back out there, hopefully get some laps. And I know he's been absent for a little bit. Not sure what the case was, if it's just real life getting in the way, or maybe it's Kim putting him to work at home there for Kim's Cup and more. Shout out to them as one of the sponsors here, and obviously One Vision EMS and Transport as the other sponsor. But good sized field out here once again. No surprise, as these boys like to get at it here on Sunday nights, and we enjoy having them as well here on CRN. But time to get them out there on the track, get this pace lap done and dust to get to this 125 lap race. But you mentioned the apron here, and the track itself definitely your cookie cutter type 1.5 mile tri-oval. But the apron here, it's probably I want to say the most conformed apron here on the track on the front stretch, just because it's nothing wonky like Kentucky. You have the same type of apron, but then you come out of the apron heading into turn 1, and it's just really weird how the lines kind of go up on the track, kind of halfway up on the track. here at Kansas, it's at least, kind of conformed all the way around there. So if you want to go down there, great. You don't want to, you don't have to. It's may save a little bit of time off of there. You may be able to get down there and make a pass, but yeah, I just said, Jimmy, these drivers can and should give each other room to get back up on the track, but I don't think it's written in stone that they have to. So we'll see how it plays out.
No problem.
It could happen towards the end of this thing.
The cars are out on the track. You can see right now, coming around turn number 3, and heading towards 4, getting ready for that pace car to come in, and the pace car is now in. Billy Rickett will lead the field down here, waiting for that green flag to drop. As the green flag is in the air, as they make their way around, across the start-finish line, away they go.
And here's the thing, like with Billy Rickett, I know we talk about him almost every week, that we don't talk to him. And I'd love to put it on, the broadcaster first. Maybe it does. Maybe we talk about him too much and he just can't finish because of that. But he keeps qualifying so damn good for me. I mean, most of the time we see that 7 qualified up there in the top 5, and quite often we see him up there on the pole. So it's kind of hard not to talk about him. So I don't know. I don't know anymore what to do with the 7, but hopefully either him or a teammate, Travis Noble, can get up there and mixed up, as Travis got a good qualifying effort there as well for the expired at number 70. But these drivers already 2x2 through the corner here. You see them up towards the wall, and you see some drivers break the wall here a little bit early on.
Yeah, they're going to try to utilize, the whole track here with Kansas, but I know sometimes this track can lead to, single file, and where they favor one line or another. Just depends on the car, depends on the track temp, and how well them tires are here. We're on top of Andrew Jones right at the moment, and does look like a caution is out. There's something up with Chris Perry. So I'm not quite sure what that was. Let's see if we can catch what happened here with Chris. I was just coming off turn 4, loose, coming down through the grass, and out the flags are flying. Little lawn maintenance, they missed a spot.
Yep. So we appreciate that there, Chris. And now the grass looks got the nice lines in there. You drive around and see who pays to get their grass mowed. You got the nice, patterns going back and forth or crisscross. I just have to roll my damn crap cut. I don't care if it's pattern.
Yeah, Carl might not understand what Carl's saying at the moment. As he's on the road, so he's definitely infield broadcasting. So that's why Carl sounds like he's maybe in a water barrel here for a little bit. But yeah, these cautions are going to come out here, and obviously with the tires being a little bit, trying a little cool, still got a couple, trying to warm them up and get out there and just gotta be a little easy coming off the turns. I was watching some of the qualifying laps, and even seeing a few drivers like the likes of Rakes was one of the drivers that decided to I seen him wreck during qualifying, so just pushing the car as hard as it could go, trying to get that inside lap. Now you think about kind of like what's kind of going on here, and I know they have a comp caution, so the comp caution flies at 25. So a lot of drivers electing obviously not to come out. The tire length here for the cars, typically before you really start feeling them go away, is right around that 12 to 15 laps, and then you'll see huge fall off for those drivers. But we're gonna get going back to green here soon. It does look like only a few drivers have come in. We'll go ahead and pull up the tower here temporarily and show you who came in on the pit lap. So only a few: Anderson, Perry, Hartman, Henderson. Only ones kind of maybe sneaking in. Maybe the car wasn't feeling right, or they just wanted a little more fuel. I'm not quite sure. So I would think they can go more than 25 laps. Before a caution, but if not, they have the fuel to make it. So we're gonna get going under green here soon, but almost should be going ready to go back 2x2. We'll go back up towards the front with Billy Rickett, as he is your leader. And as they cross the start-finish line, I'm sure that they'll get the guidance to go 2 wide here soon. And the lights are off, so yeah, we'll be up 2 wide. See if I lost my counterpart, as he, like I said, he's in the field, so you know, we'll do our best to make sure we got full coverage here. And as Carl is, you know, enjoying himself, getting some drive time in for real.
Yeah, still going through a little bit of a rough patch here, so hopefully these drivers do a little bit better than I do, and hopefully at least by the comp caution, I'll be all cleared up and good to go. But looks like we are doubled up here, getting ready to go back to some racing action.
Yeah, doubled up. Lights are off on the pace car, heading down the backstroke, turn down to turn number 3. Want to give a huge shout out to all the fans out there. It's the reason that I come here every Sunday night to see everybody's comments and put on a show for everybody, so you can see what your favorite driver is doing here tonight. So if you haven't seen your favorite driver in a while, let me know. I'll go ahead and make sure I get some screen time for your favorite driver, no matter who it is. But just a shout out to Brenda and Mustang Cobra, Renee, the Racing Line, TV Racer Streaming, and Barry, of course. And we are back on the grid.
It leads them off here again into turn number 1, and hopefully these drivers just kind of settle in now and click off the lap, get to that comp caution here on lap number 25, and then try to figure out how they're going to tackle that final 100 laps of this race. You mentioned that the tire wear, and you mentioned you can get to a certain point before it starts becoming an issue. Once it starts becoming an issue, it's really turn 4 that you need to pay attention to. If you're running, you know, a high line through turns 1 and 2, the exit 2 can sometimes trip you up, and you can maybe get close to the wall on the exit 2. But really, it's turn number 4. If you're not checking the exit turn 4 correctly on some used tires, you're going to meet it pretty quickly.
And Dale Gar Jr. getting a little loose. We can see there 21 losing control as he's going to go for a ride. So, but green flag is still out, and Wade Inyard around, but the caution will fly here. So, not quite sure what happened. And SDK is not even pulling up the issue. Just happened to catch the incident here on the camera. So, we'll go ahead and take a look to see what happened to Wade. Go ahead and pause that, and I'm just going to do this old school rewind and see what happened to Wade Inyard.
Be kind, rewind, Jimmy.
Yeah, be kind, rewind, right? Blockbuster days. But it looks like here, it does look like, I think the 31 had to check up a little bit. You watch it, you get the 21 on the screen right now. 31 getting down in there. Just trying to still think, just maybe 21 just losing it by himself here. But here, coming off of turn 4, there's pit entry as he comes across here. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this full speed here until he starts losing it down on that apron. Comes off the apron. Maybe it was. Oh, okay, right there in front there, the 64 and the 53 getting together. So maybe just not quite collecting it, getting down in there. Oh, I was gonna try to make it fit.
Yeah, I could certainly view what happened there. It looked like the 3 wide there entering the corner was just kind of a bad angle from the car in the middle, and then a car trying to stick their nose up through the middle. Sometimes that it can work. You can definitely go 3 wide at Kansas. You can even go 4 wide. We've seen some crazy races, especially finishing the races. But early on, 3 wide before the cup caution, it can get a little bit sketchy, especially with some newer tires. And look like all 3 cars are a little bit close to each other, and going to bring out our second yellow here of the night.
Yeah, just another quick caution, and obviously maybe a little earlier on that Wade wanted for that number 21 here tonight, and you know, just try to take advantage of somebody, you know, being loose and use that momentum, gain yourself a spot. But bad call, I guess. Or it could have been a great call. You know, you never know. He usually attempts that move. It did not work. and he'll be back out on the track though. So it comes down, gets that car fixed. He's rolling before the field comes by. They are coming down the front stretch, crossing the start-finish line right now, and it's all on Ricky. On Ricky. Or Billy Rickett, excuse me.
Billy Rickett. Yeah, Billy, exactly.
Yeah, really Rickett. Billy Rickett out front, and enjoying these lap sled. And, this is not the first time, we've seen Billy, up front, quite often and to that point. But we haven't gotten to the point where the tires start to fall off, Carl. And it's almost like Billy has the same issues that I've had, was getting the long run, the short run speed there, getting around the track there, pretty decent pit stops there. It's just being able to land that long run and be able to stay out front and keep that momentum going. But right now we're on lap 11, a couple cautions, and still looking for that comp caution here in lap 25. So they still got about 14 more laps. They are too wide, so they'll be going back to green again here for the third time. Billy Rickett will lead them down with Bryce Saucier on the outside, then Gary Breland in the number 11. We don't talk much about him. Zane Bierman's got his nose poked up there as well on the outside in P number 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that I don't think that the layperson realizes so much out there in Sierra Nation is how much tire wear really plays a part, and when you get into those long runs and how different the car feels. Whether it's usually it gets a little bit more pushy if you're using that right front up a little bit too much. Occasionally it'll start getting looser as the other run goes on. But on top of all that, it's really how different the car feels in traffic. Rickett up until now was out there. He was the lead car. He was the one getting all that air on his front nose. So the car was doing whatever he wanted to because it was getting all that downforce on those front tires. But once they start creeping back into the field, the air just start to move around a little bit. And all of a sudden, you may go into the corner. You have the front, the front end pushed down with the air going into the corner, and then all of a sudden the car swipes across your nose, and you lose that air. It's just that the air is huge in some of these cars, and it can really mess with the handling, especially when you get later in the runs, if the tires are worn up a little bit.
Yeah, you see 3 wide action there with Mike Casey in the middle there between the 70. Somebody go down on the apron. No, that was tough there from 65 of Breland. Trying to, I'm not quite sure why he went down there so late. Made me pucker a little bit, but Mike Casey does get by there. Moves up in the Pete number 6 for that orange number 6. So new paint scheme out there. So yeah, I know there's been a small influx of orange cars.
Yeah.
Or
Jimmy gets. That's what it is. Jimmy gets. I guess I gotta keep reminding people how much I like green cars. I don't see too many green ones out there anymore. But yeah, it's more 3 wide battling here, and it looks like they're gonna at least survive this one as getting a little racy here, getting towards the end of this first 25. And again, we'll have the comp caution. Looping back up, I'm sure we'll see everybody. I think I got a little tight coming out before there. I'm sure we'll see the entire field come down on lap 25. We always get confused because you always see 1 or 2 stay out. Whether they came into the pits early on one of the cautions or not. But you always kind of scratch your heads like, you get a free pit stop. Everybody's coming in. I know track position is nice, but you got to come in and take that chance of a free pit stop under caution when everybody else is coming in.
Yeah, unless you just came in, it was like lap 23 or 22, and then maybe I understand it, and you're in the back and you want to be up towards the front, and you can see how much that clean air is, and Billy Rickett getting back out in front of the number 11, Gary Breland, trying to stretch his lead here, back out in that clean air, and this could be Gary just kind of holding back a little bit too, allow some of that air to actually get on the front end of that car. And allow that car to, rotate a little bit better. And, we talk about dirty air every now and then, and that's what the drivers will experience here. And it's pretty big here, like Carl was saying. You're taking that air off the front, so it's not getting as much downforce in order to steer down in there. So, yeah, we're here on lap number 18 of 125, and a little bit of rub there from the 55 of Zane Bierman as we're watching Gary Breland go down on the apron, going to go down, and looks like he's going to safely come back up there as loses a ton of spots and moves him all the way back to P number 11. So like real racy up towards the front here, Carl, as they're still too wide on a lot of this track.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get to that lap 25, with your car intact. Get a little racy here towards the last couple laps here, but you also want to make sure you have a good good pit position as well. So you can get in and get out. Maybe you try and take 2 tires. To me, I think it's too early. I think you want 4 tires on your car early. I know, again, track position and get the air on the front of the car, but yeah, it looks like these drivers at least maybe want to test the water. Maybe they're trying out some different lines. Certainly, I'm not sure about Gary Breland's line. A couple times they're down the apron at some awkward times, but yeah, trying out some different things right now that maybe see what they're going to do late in the race.
I did spot a green car. It is a Busch car. Dale Garber Jr. representing the green out there tonight. Come for your car.
Appreciate that, Dale. Hopefully you can get that green machine up towards the front, but should be coming up here in the next couple laps. Unfortunately, I can't see the lap count while I'm driving here, but should be coming up on that jump caution as Chris Perry has another round pants moment right there.
Yeah, and you can see how that car does not like coming off that apron up into the corner there, and that was off the back stretch. So not the typical spot where you kind of go down there and come merge back up into traffic, but losing a lot of spots here and a lot of the time back in the back here. This is all the way back in P number 23. But just kind of racing kind of all over the place here tonight. Everybody's pretty close, all kind of side by side, front to the back for the most part. So a lot of good racing going on, and the cars are obviously a little bit tight. You can see how much they drift up out of the corner out of turn number 4, so they keep that thing going straight. And that's one thing that they allow the car to do, so not giving it too much input, and then the rear end ends up going around. They just let the car kind of drive out. So but here we are on lap number 23, coming a few more laps to go for that comp caution. I think at this moment in time, if a caution were to come out, they would just go ahead and use this as a comp caution anyways. But looking at the number 19 of Ken Yule, sitting back here trying to get P number 10 coming down there off that apron, and then he's going to make sure he has enough room, stays up there, keeps it low, still looking beneath the number 11 as the 11's trying to creep their way back up 3 wide behind, as that comp cautions are really coming out here in the next lap. And the driver's looking to make it there in the best position as possible.
Yeah, driver's trying to bring out the regular caution here before the comp caution. I almost got 4 wide there with a couple of orange cars battling. I know you like all these orange cars out here doing, but if they take each other out, I mean, you're going to lose some orange cars here pretty quickly, as definitely a few of them bunched together here and getting a little racy before the comp caution flies.
Yeah, and the comp caution is out right now as the drivers take lap number 25 here. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm sure we're going to watch them come down into the pits and get things going here. I need to step away for a quick second, so I'll be right back. While your drivers are getting some fuel and some new tires, I'm going to get some liquid for my throat. Be right back.
Series, Kim's Cups, and more, and One Mission EMS and Transports for everything that they do. And again, good to see Wade to get back out there here tonight. I know he's clearly a little racy already tonight, but I want to thank all the men and women out there in Sierra Nation as well. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get in touch with everything that we have to offer here at Sierra. And as we start another week here, starting off once again with 191 Motorsports. Tomorrow night on Monday, we have the Hold Your Brakes Academy. Tuesday, we'll have the Core O'Reilly Series. On Wednesday, we'll have the doubleheader of CSRL and Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. Then on Thursday night, we have the doubleheader of VDR, which will be back to points racing this week, as they had a little kerfuffle last week. They don't have a track frame that we covered before. And then the doubleheader with the Core GT Series as the field. hops off the track and into the pits. Again, I would think this early on in the race, you want to take 4 tires here and fuel and get back out there. It's just a little bit too early in the race to get 100 laps left, or thereabout. Everybody is in here right now, and 4 tires to me are the play. I know 2 tires can get you up there in the field a little bit. I know you may have just been in a couple laps ago under the on the last caution, but to me, anytime I can get in there and give me some 4 new fresh tires, it's going to feel so much better out there on the track. And you may gain that position by having those 2 tires and move you up there, but within the first couple laps, you're going to move those positions right back. Looks like first one out of pits and new leader will be the 33 of Douglas Ivy, as he's going to lead them back to the green and catch you back up to the pace car. Should be doubling up possibly next time by. We'll see if the pace car lights go out this time by the start-finish line. And indeed they do. As you see, the pace car, all about that apron. And we always see it here at Kansas. That pace car just down the apron, and all of a sudden the lights go out, and he cranks that wheel to the right, and we get this thing ready to go back to some green flag racing. As it sounds like Jimmy's back. Get him time.
Yeah, I just happened to click on Douglas Ivy. I got up. I guess just a good guess that he was going to be leading.
Well, that's what you were doing, right? Yeah, you knew he was going to get out first. You hopped on the pit crew and told him, like, listen, you're on the screen, let's go.
Yeah, I put a little code in for iRacing to hold everybody about a split second faster, so Douglas can get out there. But out there in the number 33 Bass Tracker, orange car, by the way.
Yeah, you're running out there.
Up 11 spots though, Carl. So good pit stop, good track position at the moment. But your biggest mover of the race, even more in the double digits, is going to be the number 17 of Tanner McAllister. So I was on him earlier and out there doing a good job moving through the field. So trying to go from the back to the front. You see a little accordion action going on right there. Everybody trying to get going here as we're going to start the main portion of this race. And hopefully we can see about 98 laps go green here. It'll be awesome to see what these drivers can do here at Kansas. But we're underway, and the 33 leads the way down the front stretch as Billy Rickard battles on the outside, trying to make his way back to the front.
It's one thing that's kind of interesting about the the kind of format, if you will, for 191 with the comp cost of about 25 on pretty much every race. It's almost like a little heat race before the feature, but the problem is you wreck your car in the heat race, you're still in the main race as well. So you only got so many fast repairs to get that thing back cleaned up and running. But it doesn't look like these drivers care about fast repairs or being safe at all. As man, we wonder if it was going to be single file racing here tonight, Jimmy. If you look at the front stretch here, I think there's about 6 different lanes.
Yeah, definitely drivers really trying to go for it here early on, get out front and get those laps led. And I don't know if they get a bonus point for leading the lap or not, but Billy Rickard has got that number 7 back out front here again. And here early on, new tires, you see them drivers coming down on that apron, trying to use as much as they can, but that's going to force 3 wides, just like you see right here, and turn a number 1, and able to kind of get things figured out there.
That was Bierman or who that was back there in the back end of the Wallace and the yellow and black car in the wall that gets it off of there. Everybody avoids him, and we keep this thing going. It's the wall is tantalizing, and if you have a car that you feel handles well up there, it can be a lot of speed up there at the wall, but you're track
there's that wall can be a little treacherous there.
That wall right there, but you get up a little too close and you get the and the problem is once you hit
Carl breaking out just a little bit there. He was talking about how the cars, obviously getting up in the wall, and it's tantalizing as you get up there and you get some really good speed. But you see every now and then you see somebody scrape, and that's all the momentum that's lost. There is some really good speed out there. Ooh, somebody hits the hard wall. That's the number 7 of Billy Rickett getting in the wall there hard. So we'll have to go back there and check that. But we're still under green here, Carl. Almost like he had something. I mean, it's obviously something go bad there. But we're gonna go ahead and just take a quick look at what happened to Billy Rickett. I could catch you right here. I think I'll get on the 7 of Billy Rickett as he's fallen all the way to the back of the field here, and he was leading the race here. And you can see just I'll speed it up because I might have went back just a little too far. But we'll go here and just up there in the corner was coming down. Oh, he lost it. He was getting loose. Ended up getting up in the wall.
Lost the back end.
Yeah, puts the 7 up in the wall, but keeps it going forward. But it's definitely not good news there for the 7, as he'll have to bring that thing down into the pits here. We'll go back and see. Yeah, he's down in the pits right now, trying to get that thing fixed. Matter of fact, I want to see if he even got a meatball, and he did. He got a meatball that he hit that hard.
Yeah, it looked like the way he kind of bobbled and the way he got up the track. I was going to ask that if he did get a meatball, because it looked like that front right kind of smacked the wall pretty good. And I'm sure that the wall monster just grabbed him, and that's why it really slowed him down. But the contact I figured was going to be a little detrimental to the 7. But it looks like at least he was able to get in there, get a fast repair, and get back out there. Now he's going to need some cautions to get him back in the race. Right now, it is Bryce Dossier leading here and leading the Orange Brigade. As he's got a couple of orange cars right behind him right now.
Yeah, I was just talking about Billy as he's going to need those one of those cautions right now, and he's working on. He just came out, and he's only 1 lap down right now. So I mean, he needs if he were to catch a caution right now, he would get right back on the lead lap, but he's in danger of going 2 laps down. But obviously being able to come in, maybe he took new tires, or he should be able to pull right away from this whole field. The draft isn't real huge here. It does help down the straightaways, but it's not imperative to be in it, and that's why you see a lot of drivers using a lot of different lines here. For the 18 of Bryce Dossier up leading this thing right now. Michael Casey moving up into number 2, and Mitchell Sabito up there in the number 26, trying to get a good showing here tonight. And if I'm not mistaken, fairly new to 191. I don't remember him being out here last week.
Yeah, I don't remember the name either. And I mean, to your point, it's really Kansas is a track that a lot of times it can go green for a long time. You can have a long green flag run here, but you can't worry about that single lap speed. You can't, well, of course, we're talking about a long green flag run. But I mean, you got to keep those tires under here for quite a long time. But looks like that may not be the case here. You got a caution.
Let's see what happened here. If it was these guys or not. SDK didn't even say there was a caution. Just a caution. It's in the air. So go ahead and let me see. Well, it's because it was thrown by the admins.
Are we supposed to have a second caution here, or was this a little fat finger action here once again? But I didn't see anything on the screen either. So that's exactly what brought this one out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% there. So I thought maybe I seen a pass there, but I thought maybe somebody went down. But that's going to allow Billy Rickett to get back on the lead lap here, Carl. He'll be the lucky dog and get waved around here and get things going here, and it could be good news or it could be bad news. Can he make it through the field now? as you can see on the tower, a lot of pit lane tags coming up, a lot of the field coming in to take some probably tires and fuel, whereas we're on lap 41, so about a third of the way through this race. Rakes, Bierman, Casey, Ivy, Jones, Hartman, Perry, Henderson, McAllister, and you're all coming down in the pit lane, and a few drivers obviously staying out. And if they get out there and they have a caution, or they go green flag pit stops, now you got cars out there with nice new tires. They're going to come out there. They're going to be fast, going to be working their way up through. Those people are going to need to come down in the pits. And then next thing you know, I mean, it will be okay. But those, if a caution comes out after that, when fields do this, there's a good chance of drivers are going to go a lap down and have to battle with the other lap down drivers in order to fight for that lucky dog spot. So the race within a race. But we're on lap number 141 of 125. Bryce Saucier is your leader over Gary Breland, and then Heezy Hardy up there in P number 3. So that's your podium potential podium sitters at the moment. And then you got Mitchell Samito, Tony Brennan, Ken Yule, Matthew Jordan, Travis Noble, Shane Wielden, and Dale Garner Jr. for your top 10.
It all depends if we get a nice little green flag run here. I mean, the green flag pit stops here, I know you like them at super speedways. I like them at tracks like this, because we've seen a lot of craziness happen at tracks like Kansas. You got to come down from sometimes the middle lane or the outside lane to come down in the pit lane and jumping down on that transition onto the apron and get into the pits. You got a little bit of room to get into pit lane here, but we've seen quite a few times drivers going through the grass, kind of like Chris Perry did early on, doing a little lawn mowing, along lawn maintenance here. But trying to get in there to the pit lane, it can get a little bit hectic, especially if you're coming down with a bunch of cars together.
Yeah, anything can happen here, and all 26 drivers still out there, and all on the lead lap. So as the ticker's going across the screen, is where your favorite driver may be. Definitely an interesting one so far. A couple hiccups here and there early on prior to, and then just obviously another caution gathering everybody up, and we're going to get back going here on the green here as the 18 and the 11 battle down to turn number 1. So nice, just kind of solid start from the whole field. Nobody getting any huge jump, and then we'll see if that inside or outside works a little better on the lanes, but it does look like the 18 is going to be able to get out front here for the lead, and 30's got a nice run. Going to look down to the inside of the 18, is going to push the 18 to the high side to the 30. Easy looking for a lap lead here as he come off turn number 4, and it does look like he is going to get that barrel. No, Saucier was able to use that outside momentum off of 4 to nudge out the number 30, but good try there for the 30 to try to get a lap lead here. He's going to fall back a little bit as the outside line maybe starting to come to life, as Gary Breland out there now able to get around the 30 as well. So back here, need to find out where our pole sitter was sitting in the number 7 marching through the field. Got some work to do to get back up to the front, and had a fast number 7 there early on, and just barely lost it, giving himself a meatball, but back out in the track right now. Through the middle of the field here, we'll venture up here with Steve Harrison, number 134, sitting up there, and P number 17 on the outside of Michael Casey, as Michael Casey was one of those cars went in for that pit stop there as well. And some drivers like the big pit stops, but there's going to be an incident right there as 2 of the orange cars get together. Number 33 of Douglas Ivy going to go through the grass. Hartman's almost losing it, all out of turn number 4. So definitely we're still green at the moment, but we had some collisions back there. We'll go check out to see what happened back there. As I think it was back here. Let's see what happened here. You can see up there the 23 and the 33 getting together, just kind of staying up on the wall, but the 52 come down to try to avoid it and almost took out the 17 as it got a nice door slam, but caution flag is now back out. And so as cars, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be why right there.
Yeah, as second time around out of turn number 4. This time it is the likes of Steve Harris going around and coming back out on the track now. But we'll go ahead and rewind that there, see what kind of happened there with the 134. Seen another car going through the grass, actually a few cars going through the grass here. So we'll go ahead and jump on the nose to see what Steve Harris was seeing and why he had to check up so much. You can see the cars out in front there, and probably just turn 4. Carl talked about it early about being careful coming out of 4, and you can see the drivers up there looking to go 4 wide and you know, coming down and right there. I want to say the 16. That's right in front of the 16. It's right in front of Michael Rakes. Yep, you see the 62 going up across the track, hooking the 19. 16 tried to get out of it right away, and ends up getting into Michael Casey, your points leader. So there's Michael Casey going across Michael Rakes' nose. There's the flaps come up on the hood, going for a little bit of a ride. Some pirouettes going on down there. Some grass circles. So doing their
Grass circles in the infield there.
Casey trying not to let that car back up on the track to end up getting T-boned, and yeah, tough break there for a few of those cars. 134 ends up going around, and another few drivers still going through the grass. So drivers having problems with turn number 4, and that's going to lead to a lot of drivers coming down into the pits here early on, as SDK is not playing nice. But yeah, caution flies again here on lap number 48. So everybody down in, everybody taking some repairs if needed, and yeah, heat up here at Kansas as they're trying to tackle this thing.
Well, it's kind of it's a give and take to me. I mean, you know, we talk about Kansas being sometimes single lane, you know, just just the inside, just the outside lane. But then you have the times where it's not, and it's wide open. There's all the kind of lanes you can run, which is great if it's done safely. But these drivers out here going for it here tonight. Plenty of different lanes being used in the corners, especially on the front stretch. You can see them really spreading out all over the place on the front stretch, and it looks great. I mean, broadcast-wise, it looks fantastic, but unfortunately, when there's so much, what's that, brothers? When there's so much quicker activities, sometimes the kids can get in trouble here a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting out here. Obviously, a lot of things kind of going on. Do see the teammates of the 1826 up front. So Bryce Sassier and Mitchell kind of taking that bro, and we'll see if they can run away with it here. Zane Bierman hanging in there on that second row and out of the inside, outside with Michael Rakes. You got Tanner McAllister, Scott Henderson, Chris Perry, and Gary Breland, Dale Garner Jr., and Heasy for your top 10. So or 2 wide here to 72 up there as well with Scott Henderson. So not sleeping here tonight. Scott trying to make things work here tonight. Up 17 spots up there and beat number 6.
One of these days he's going to make Renee proud. I know it. I know if he gets on Mike, and Mike is certainly one of his races and one of his championships, but one of these days Scott's going to make her proud too.
Yeah, we've seen some decent runs from Scott, and just kind of needs to be in the right spot at the right time for some of these. And obviously, we're gonna go 3 right away in the turn number 1 here on the restart here on lap number 50. So 11 in a rush to get up there, not wanting the drivers to get away. We've seen the 11 up there early on, but did a little bit of 3 wide action there, and all drivers made it work. So, but Zane Bierman now with the lead here. He's got the bottom side underneath and Bryce Saucier, and is going to get that lap led. So Zane Bierman in number 55 finally getting out to the front to get a lap led with that momentum on that outside. See that 18 just kind of rocket ship out there. 55 can't drift up, so can't take away that momentum. He's got the drag racing down the backstretch. Now they're into turn numbers 3, working around to 4. This is where the drivers have had issues. We'll see if the 18 can carry that momentum, but a little bit of a bobble might allow Zane to keep that lap lead, and he does. So he gets in the second lap lead here, getting a nice push there by the likes of Michael Rakes as well. So trying to get him around here. 11 and 17 back there, side by side, waiting, looking forward here as this battle happens, and you can see that outside, that huge momentum. The 18 is going to duck down in front of the 16, take that lead away, and try to get back out to the front.
Jimmy, I know you mentioned the outside line and how much it scares you sometimes, but what's your preferred line here at at Kansas? I mean, clearly you see what the struggling here. What the outside line can do when it comes to momentum, but it can get a little sketchy. One little mistake, and you see what happened to Billy Rickett. He's got a big fight back in him. What's your preferred line?
I mean, I like the outside line. I just have a hard time, knowing the width of the car, for 100%. So I never truly get right up against that line. But we're going to have another caution here, lap number 54. There's a Douglas Ivy, and it looks like Scruffy being involved in this one here. I do see Michael Casey getting involved as well. Michael Casey up there in front of the wall. 33 going around again. Harris getting involved. 23 getting clipped. 3's up in the wall. So a lot of things going on here again. So not a good night for your points leader. Taking some pretty big damage here. So we'll go ahead and pull up the tower, see who's got some meatballs. No meatballs, but definitely some damage here early on. Closing in on that halfway point, Carl, but definitely not there. The racing has been pretty intense and real sketchy coming out of turn 4, like you stated earlier.
Yeah, it's just, and it's unfortunately you get to those kind of races and cautions start breeding cautions because the drivers start seeing that yellow flag so many times and they think, okay, well, as soon as the green drops, I got to go after it. I got to try and get these positions because the next caution could be right around the corner. And the problem is, more often than not, they're the cause of that next caution because they're just getting a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of drivers taking advantage of some of these caution flags and trying to get down there, and you see the 18 down in there, along with Brennan, Smeeto, Harris, Jones, Garner, Ivy, and Gordon, and Casey. It's now 2 laps down, so the 6 is not looking good here to get a good points there.
Yeah, well, you need to be taking out a couple of things here. Get everybody else back involved here. Give everybody else a chance. I don't know if they have drop races or provisionals or anything like that here in the series. But certainly this could be a drop race type of race here for Matt Casey, if that is the case. Certainly not the way the other 6 like to get his TV time, but unfortunately getting wrapped up in quite a few of these here tonight.
Yeah, after switching to the orange paint scheme, I don't know if he'll bring it back out.
That's what it is. That's what it is. The orange may as well be yellow because he's involved in way too many cautions here tonight.
You have to embrace the orange meatball, and that's where it comes from, And I was there was a time I had it on my GT car, and I just put on the side of it netcode because it seemed like any time I got in an incident, fighting in a corner, giving somebody room in a corner, I was getting thrown around and wondering why. I go back and watch a replay, and it was, a foot of netcode or so, and it just got to the point it was just frustrating. So it was like, all right, well, sucks to suck. That goes on the car, and well, so does netcode. So I just put it on my car for the season, and I don't know. After I did that, it seemed to have gone away. I'm not real superstitious like that, but it seemed to have been the trick. So maybe just a little run of bad luck when I was running the GT cars, but a little run of bad luck here for 191. Not your typical sight here, but we do have mixed. The front is mixed up a lot right now. We got the 16 of Michael Rakes. We got Gary Breland up there. Tanner McAllister up 22 spots in P number 3, and Heasy is up there in 4th. Travis Noble, Shane Wheeldon up 12 spots in 6th. Billy Rickett has climbed all the way back up to 6th or 7th. And then you got Tony Brennan, Chris Perry, and Paul Helps. The Match Machine making its way up there into the top 10 as well, as he's up 12 spots.
You mentioned about some of your different cars that you ran, the orange paint scheme. I remember the orange one for the '87 cars, and it brings me to a question that we haven't talked about, and I know a lot of our nostalgic CRM patriots out there maybe looking to partake in it as well. Have you seen the previews yet for? I want to say I believe the name of it is Coyote versus Action, as Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner going back on the big screen.
Oh no, I have not had a chance to see that at all. But we are back underway here. Green is Gary Breland now in the lead here. On that number 11, down off that apron, up across the track. It's a very big, bold move to carry that momentum down into turn number 1, but was able to clear the field there as he works his way now back on the backstretch. So hopefully he's got enough momentum to keep that thing going and be able to have those moves. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. And you can see this time here, coming down the front stretch off of 4, running a more higher traditional line. You see the 17 down there, and you see how much they slide up, almost a car and a half as they get to the corner. I'd say that's pretty consistent. But Billy Rickett and that number 7 got speed here tonight, and with Michael Casey having his troubles, this is the time for the 7 has the chance and opportunity to strike here and possibly, walk away with a win, but has to get back up there first. We're on lap number 59 of 125. The action is wild out there, as you can see. 3 wide action again, right behind the number 17, or at least looking for it. And Billy Rickett running that high line here right now.
Yeah, it looks like his teammate Travis Noble is still up there as well, and maybe gonna have get a little help from him later on in this race. But looks like we are back under caution here, and I see some tore up race cars here once again.
Yeah, a couple tore up race cars back here, 26 and 19 getting together, and wow, what a hit. That was a hard
that'd
hit
be why it's torn up.
Yeah, 26 taking a lick right there, 19 and a 26 getting involved, so yeah, that was a tough one there, and just kind of seeing what happened there. That was a tough one there.
I'm surprised this isn't a red flag, so we have some time to repair the catch bank. And I think we probably ripped out a few posts and some fencing out there, and get up there, and that thing flipped around pretty violently. So hopefully, got a fast repair to get that thing fixed, because that thing was tore up pretty good. But as we mentioned, we are, I believe we are past the halfway point at this point.
Not yet.
So, no.
We will be at the completion of this.
I'm looking at a small screen here, so I thought it's 81, not 61. But getting close to it now. When you mentioned about the orange car, and you said you got to know kind of how to drive the orange car. I always felt like you need to drive it with a little bit of aggression, and certainly Gary Breland doesn't mind driving with a little bit of aggression. You see him more often than not, aggressively gets himself to the front of the field, but sometimes that comes to his detriment as well.
Yeah, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It really, you just have to be certain. I mean, if you're going to make the move, make the move. And that's what he's been doing tonight. And, we've seen it, coming down the front or out of 4, down across on the apron, and then just kind of send it into 1 and just trust the tires and the car to rotate the way he needs it to, and have enough of a gap to slide up in front of the field. And it's, I don't think it's any worse a feeling than, you try to make a move or something, a bold move like that, and then say, you don't start turning the car at the right point, and the next thing you know, you just send it into the wall, and everything that you gained was for nothing, and then you got damaged. So, but yeah, Gary has definitely been putting it to the test here tonight, testing fate just a little bit, and has been doing a pretty good job so far as he's up there in P number 1 at the moment. Now he's only up 2 spots, so he definitely had a good start tonight too. Biggest mover at the race right at the moment is going to be your number 17 of Tanner McAllister, doing a fantastic job, up 21 spots, sitting in P number 4. So it's one of those moves that, the back to the front Bryson Anderson's up 10, Paul Helms is up 15, and Chris Perry is actually, he's up 9, and Wade Inyard's up 8 spots back here in the 18th.
I think the only thing that I don't understand about Gary Breland is the aggression. I don't know if maybe he's a transplant to Canada. He's one of our only Canadians out here for 191. We certainly have plenty of Canadians throughout all of the steering coverage that we have, but not too many of them are aggressive, are known for being extremely aggressive. But Gary Breland definitely on that side of the spectrum. So I don't know. I know they certainly can get a little aggressive when it comes to the hockey, but other than that, I don't know too many Canadians that are driving aggressive out here. So maybe he's trying to break the mold, or maybe, like I said, maybe he's a transplant.
Yeah, don't know. I just feel as comfortable at Kansas, as you can tell. Obviously, qualifying well, so just trying to maybe test the waters, change up the driving style sometimes, and sometimes whatever you're doing, if it's not working, maybe there's a big change that you need to do. Whether it's just be a little more aggressive, or you need to back up corners, or if you learned how to get better starts, or better pit stops. There's a lot of things that come into play, but 21 Wade had to check up there just for a little bit, so the outside line we got the momentum that he needed, but now kind of stuck in the middle there as he's getting passed by a few cars right there in front of Mike Casey, trying to hold on to that number 21.
Well, while we were back to green flag racing, hopefully it stays green flag racing for quite some time, and we can get a great second half of this race, because we are now officially at the halfway point, and we are seeing some great racing here right now under the green. So I think it's about time we turn over and listen to these engines here a little bit. A little love to hear it.
Get a little love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the 191 Motorsports Gen 6 Series here at Kansas. Unfortunately, under another caution. When you see the pace car right there, lights are out and making that vicious turn back to the right, back off onto the track. We're going to get this thing back under green again. Hopefully, get it to the green flag running here. There, drivers aren't doing Kansas justice right now. Unfortunately, there's too many yellows here tonight, but hopefully, you know, running here.
Yeah, definitely looking to get in a green flag run here as Carl's trying to get a green flag run in on the highway. It's definitely been a challenging night for these drivers, and you know, now it's coming down to the final 45 laps or 46 laps still remaining here in this race, and so there's plenty of time to make moves and get things done. But you know, Michael Casey is 2 laps down with Steve Harris and Ken Yules down 3. Samito did get one of those laps back, is now 1 lap down. But up front, it is your leader of number 18. He's been up here quite a bit here tonight, and he's not had his fair share of a clean race all race either. But Scruffy Jordan up there tonight as well right now, and P number 2 on the outside. And you got Gary Breland, Paul Helms, Healy Hardy, Zane Beer, Tony Brina, Douglas Ivy, Billy Rickett, and Zach Pierre for your top 10 as they get back under green. Heading down turn number 1, 2 wide. These drivers are laying it all out there on the table here tonight. Even the cautions and all, they're going to run as hard as they can.
You know, last I checked, this is not the season finale. I mean, we're not that far into the season, but these drivers are racing like it's the last race here and trying to get the final win of the night. Hopefully, some torn up race cars because of it. But back under green, and hopefully we can see a good little run right now. Stumpy definitely seems to be one of the drivers to beat out here tonight. We've seen Rickett be out there early on. We've seen the 11 of Breland up there as well. So there's a lot of different players out here tonight in Kansas. Can produce some really good dramatic finishes, but we need to get to that finish first of all. We still got another 40 plus laps in this race.
There's still a lot of racing to go, and you know, obviously you see even a little wide action going there in turn 1. It's gonna use the 16, a real tight entry there, and you had to back off immediately. And that's what I was kind of saying why I disliked that bottom line going below the apron and driving it down into the corner. You just can't. I mean, you get all that speed, you get up along somebody, and you just got to back off so much in order to get that car to rotate. You know, it's, I guess, a little different. You see the 20 getting into the 55 here. It looks like they might save it, and he does. Zane Bierman coming up on the track, trying to save it here, but there's. Yep, he's around. Oh, the 6 gets involved, and another caution here comes out. So yeah,
definitely not the night for Casey. I mean, he's gotten caught up in I want to say probably 80% of the wrecks here tonight.
Yeah, and the 55 trying to get back up on the track and understood, but just not enough. Gets loses control. Sends that number 62 up into the fence right there by the 33 on the brakes, trying to straighten it out here a little bit. But the 27 can't slow down fast enough. Going to give him a shot, bring him back down across the track. Nowhere for Mike Casey to go. Ends up getting in. Looks like Wade Inyard's going to come in there as well. Yeah, not too bad there. But you know, just nowhere to go. Just happen to check up, and you know, drivers are just racing kind of so hard. You can see Zane Bierman, he's crabbing pretty bad. There's definitely a lot of damage done there in the 55. Has a meatball, so I would not, you know, hopefully he's got a fast repair for that number 55 to get him back out on the track. But this race has been full of excitement and challenges on the track for the drivers. Again, a huge shout out to all the fans out there. If you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, and thumbs up. Plenty of racing here at CRN. Obviously, a huge shout out to the sponsors, Keep Cups and More, One Vision, EMS, and Beyond the Edge. So definitely want to shout out those sponsors that make things happen here, and keep the lights on here to CRN as we keep yeah, keep coming back each and every week for you driver, for you the fans out there to watch. You know, whether it's good or bad, and you know, some weeks are better than others, but tonight, like I said, a little bit challenging here at Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's liked us so much here on putting on the 191 forum that he's joined us up in the booth. So I'll just tell you all you need to know right there. But yeah, I know we've seen some crazy things in the past when it comes to required damage and, you know, things that you know, cause a meatball that shouldn't, and things that make no sense, and there's no meatball. But nowadays, and I think iRacing's kind of cleaned that up. If it's required damage, you get a meatball clearly. And if the 55 didn't have a meatball on that, if he didn't have required damage, I don't know how that they let him back out there in the track. Yeah, that was grabbing pretty good right there. But like you said, hopefully he's got a fair. And so he's another driver that, you know, we see the 55 at speed. You know, he's got close to leading lap here. I know he just, I think, missed out by like a tenth or two on the one lap for leading. But you know, he's a fast car here tonight again, and just caught up in some incidents here. And he got it. You know, the saying goes, finish first, you have the first finish. And unfortunately, some of the drivers here have got a lot of talent, a lot of speed, but they got to get to that finish line too.
Yeah, you know, you kind of get, you know, you're stuck, and you know, obviously, you get some good runs, you know, and you try to take advantage of it to maybe make up the speed, and it takes a lot, you know, to slow down and not push it, you know, because you want to get that spot. Each spot is so valuable, especially when you're in a points race or if you're trying to win. It gets pretty intense up front, but there's, you know, you got to look at that lap counter a little bit, you know, and say, is it really worth, you know, pushing it here, or should I wait and try to get a better run? But you know, a lot of times you know, these drivers have been running too wide a lot here, Carl. I mean, so like any little mistake, the drivers are trying to take advantage of it, and I think the mistake, you know, can come from, you know, that driver that made the mistake overcorrecting and then you know, bumping each other a little bit, and you can see how easily these cars are coming around here tonight. You know, go down the front stretch. Most of the incidents have been out of turn number 4, a few out of 2, but definitely been interesting here. And that the apron has caused a couple issues, not as many as I thought it would. Just a few. The drivers are trying to get things run, but we're gonna go back under green as the 11 gets back on the loud pedal, holds them up just a little bit, gets things going, gets out front, gets a decent start there, and then you have the 33 of Douglas Ivy up there, the Bash Tractor Machine, putting his nose up there. Paul Helms on number 64 up there as well. Up in P-Nor 3, up 19 spots, tied with the biggest mover of Tanner McAllister is back here, and currently in 7th spot at the moment as he's down on the inside. So 17's been doing some good things here tonight. It's good to see Tanner up there trying to you know, get a great finish, trying to get on that podium here. But we are 2 wide. We're on lap number 88 of 125 here at Kansas.
So we're getting there. We're getting a little bit closer. We're under 40 laps now, but again, it's still taking a little bit for these drivers to get there, and just a little bit racy here tonight, and a little bit you know, maybe not giving enough room on some instances. But I think it's a lot of what you mentioned too, Jimmy. It's trying to correct these cars, and it's not easy to correct any cars on iRacing. I guess, you know, maybe some of like the Pro 2 trucks or something like that on dirt, maybe. But you know, when it comes to these asphalt cars, to me, I've more often than not steered with the spin. Like if my back end starts spinning out, I'm turning left more than I'm turning right, because a lot of times when you counter steer, if you're ready to catch it and you catch it when the car catches, maybe you can save it. But if not, that thing is snapping to the right, and you're probably going to go up there into the wall. So a lot of times you're better off slowing down, steering with the spin, and you're going to scrub off you know, some tires. You're going to throw in some time, but you get a better chance of saving the car.
Dale Gardner Jr. getting slowed down here for another caution. I've seen Scruffy getting involved here on this one, but it does look like Thomas Osborne has caught this one here as well. So we'll go back and see what happened here. Oh, that was a weird wiggle there by the number 33, and then the 23 nowhere to go. Ends up tapping that left rear corner. and those two go up to the wall here, trying to hold it up there as well. So good job for the drivers. Obviously, keeping the incident to a minimum, as it's just between two cars here. But the 31 comes flying in, not flying in, but he's on the brakes and gives the 23 a little smooch there at the end. Nothing major though. So 31 uses the wall as sort of a brake here, but 33 not getting a brake, as got some major damage on that machine. Oh, but no meatballs, Carl. No meatballs. Matter of fact, speaking of meatballs, I have them in the crock pot right now. They're ready to. They're ready for consumption.
We're ready for this race to be over to be eaten. Exactly. I'm waiting to find a rest stop myself to get a little grub on the way home here. Yeah, it's been again a little bit rough, and I question, like, are we back in April? Did we somehow regress back into April?
Well, I mean, they took a week off, Carl. So I mean, you gotta get the bugs back. You know, it's kind of what happens. Yeah, you know. So a few drivers coming in pit lane. You know, this could be, you know, to the point where, you know, they can make it the rest of the way, and maybe this is where they want to take that set of tires, you know, being in the back, and being able to maybe get some tires, enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. So this could be a call. This could be something, you know, these drivers need. Maybe they don't need fuel, but definitely in there taking on some fuel. I do see some tires going up on the likes of a few drivers coming in there in front of Dale Garner Jr., but Dale just kind of sitting there waiting. Maybe he's got some small repairs. Yeah, he must have some small repairs that need to be corrected on at number 31. So just sitting there waiting for the pace car to get to a certain point before they get back out there. But we're here on lap number 92 of 125. Gary Breland in number 11 is your leader. Easy Hardy up there in second. Travis Noble up there in third. Douglas Ivey in fourth. Tanner McAllister in fifth. Yeah, Michael Rakes in sixth. Tony Brennan in seventh. Paul Helms up in eighth. Billy Rickett is up there in ninth. And Bryce Saucier up there in P number 10. So one more lap here. We'll get I think they'll get the 2 to go here this time by. Driver's going to start forming back up so we can get this thing back under green. See somebody leaving the pits there, trying to get out before the pace car gets around so they can stay on that lead lap. It's definitely, like we said, it's been an interesting one here. Drivers have been struggling just a little bit, but the racing that has been on the track's been has been fast. It's been very competitive and pretty close. So, you know, they're going to keep going like this. It's going to take a little while. Let's see what happened. I heard something about your blinking. I heard my Discord go off, but I guess it's nothing unless Carl came back.
Oh. Yeah, that was me. I had to pop out and pop back in as the headphones died here. So I'm on the speaker now to get this thing to the end. That's how long this race has been. Unfortunately, I have a few cautions here tonight. Ran my earbuds out of power here. Doing this thing via speaker now.
Yeah, we've been out here for a little over an hour now, and obviously, you know, there's still enough time on here. There to get this thing together, it'd be over, lickety split before you know it, and you know, it could be you know, green to the end. We've seen these things where they've happened, and you know, typically they'll have another caution too. But we're gonna see if we can get this thing to the end here. Regardless, we'll be here on board right now. On board with Bryce Saucier back here in P number 11. We'll start up there on the high side, drops to the low side as he looks forward on the pack here, and everybody is still out there running. So all 26 drivers, regardless of damage, bangs, bad tires, still out there, and only 3 drivers not on the lead lap.
I mean, that's kind of what's impressive, because we've seen some torn up race cars here tonight. I know the drivers have a couple of fast repairs that they can work with here, but the fact that we still have everybody is still out there in some way, shape, or form, whether they're on the lead lap or not, I think is pretty impressive. That saved it to a point. And really, there's only probably been a couple of cautions where we've seen cars really damaged. Obviously, the Bierman crab walk on the last one we've seen. I forget who exactly it was, up in the catch fence and ripping off pretty much the entire front end. But there's only been maybe 3 or 4 kind of big wrecks here tonight. The rest of them, a lot of them, have been scraping up in the wall, spinning 1 or 2 out, going through the grass. So it's good to see at least everybody out there still chugging along, still trying to get this thing to the end. And you never know, you got to be in it to win it.
Just looking at Michael Rake's car, and I'm thinking Evel Knievel. the red, white, blue, and the stars down the side.
Yes.
So
we want to talk about a throwback.
yeah, let's talk about some Evel Knievel stuff going on right now. Look at these drivers battle here. This is for we're looking at 7th, but I think that Travis Noble is leading this thing right now out front. So this is your front pack, and this is how hard they're racing. And this track, puts on some great racing, and if it wasn't for the fact of them getting a little bit loose here and there, this could have been like this all 125 laps. It's amazing. That's why I know a lot of times we come back here to for 4 races, as it used to be dubbed our home track here at Kansas, and that was where we usually put on the finale. And here they are, 3 wide, even looking to go 4, but has 70 out front. And here comes Billy Rickett, marched his way all the way back to the field. He's got himself in a podium position here, and down below the 17, and maybe even looking to strike back to the lead.
Yeah, it's good to see the 7 back up here in the mix, and definitely a lot of cars still in good contention here for this win. I always say everybody's still in the race, and most of them on the lead lap. But we've kind of seen, I would say maybe a handful, about 5 drivers that have really kind of taken a hold here. But it looks like one of them that took a hold earlier on in the night now involved, and that's Gary Breland.
Yeah, caution flag out again here with 26 laps to go. Gary Breland was 3 wide there and ends up, I don't know if he drifted up or got snagged there. Either way, he ends up getting tagged in the right rear, and some damage done to that 11 now here, and I see some major tire damage at the front. But we'll take a look to see what happened here. We'll see it pretty much live, but you see right there, bobbled up there a little bit, and then the 17 just down. He's trying to hold it. 17 losing control just a little bit, ends up making contact with the 11. He's going to put that 11 in the wall. The 30 tries to miss it, but gets into the 33. And then obviously the 17 trying to hold on to it. He's drifting a little bit up in front. It does look like those drivers are going to escape as the rest of the field kind of comes on by here. I don't remember if the 11, I think the 11 got by without being tagged by anybody else. So rough night here, as the 11 was running good here tonight up front for the majority of the race. He's going to find himself towards the back of the pack here with only 25 laps to go. I'm sure he'll bring that number 11 machine down in the pits here. So Gary Breland gets that number 11 down for much needed repairs, and hopefully has a fast repair here, Carl.
I did see the 6 of Mike Casey down there in the pits as well. I mean, as much as he's been through here tonight, you never know. You can't ever really count Mike Casey out till the end of this thing. But the 17, another player here tonight. That's not necessarily at the front of the field, but certainly the hard charger for most of the race, getting caught up in that one, and maybe being the initiator of that one. Hooking the 11, but a couple of contenders here taken out late, but still some time. Still got about a little bit less than 25 laps to go once we get this thing back to green. And I mean, your guess is as good as mine as far as who's going to win this thing. We got the 18 of Saucier back up there. We got the 7 of Rickett up there as well. We got the 70, Rickett's teammate of Travis Noble, who has looked mighty fine here tonight, qualifying up there inside the top 10. So it's clearly got a fast number 70 here. Got caught up in his fair share of things, which I think pretty much every driver has caught up in something or another here throughout this race.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's incident free here tonight, and if there is, there's very few. So everybody's, you know,
10 bonus points for a 0x here tonight.
I mean, a lot of leagues, obviously, they give bonus points for 0 incidents, and you know, sometimes that could pay off. You know, if you finish in third and you get, say, 10 extra points, you know, that could equal a lot. You know, it could be like, you know, especially if your leader has had some incidents, you know, and doesn't get them bonus points, you can get just as many points, if not more. So your biggest points guy is not always your leader in leagues that have those types of rules into play. But here tonight, right now, we're down to 24 laps to go. We're 2 wide now, heading down the backstretch. It is going to be the number 70 of Travis Noble on the inside and Billy Rickett on the outside. Chris Perry in third with Bryce Saucier on the outside. And then you got Scruffy Jordan, Shane Wielden, Zane Bierman back up there in P number 7. Andrew Jones, Bryson Anderson, and Thomas Osborne for your top 10.
Can we get a nice little green flag run to the end is the question. I would think because of how racy it's been here tonight, it's going to be a tall ask, unfortunately. We'll see how it all plays out here to the end. But, you know, just I want to thank our sponsors here one more time. Beyond the Edge is, I keep forgetting to mention them, but Beyond the Edge, one of the sponsors here, Kim's Cups and More, and One Division EMS and Transports. And then, of course, thank the fans out there and Sierra Nation for tuning in tonight. As Jimmy said, you know, hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It either costs you a dime, but it helps 191 get their race up there in the YouTube algorithm a little bit higher for when people are searching for something to watch. And typically a good watch. Tonight, it's been a little rough for him, but it happens. I mean, you know, sometimes there's a stinker amongst the season. You just hope that you kind of wash that one away, get back to this good racing action next week. But we still have some time for some good racing here to the end, to the finish.
Yeah, still a nice chunk of laps here. Nice sprint race here. Good 20. By the time when they get back, they'll have 22 laps to go. And, you know, they've had some, you know, 5-10 lap green left flag runs. So, you know, hopefully they'll be able to reel this in here and finish this thing strong. And, you know, obviously, you know, nobody likes to see a caution-filled race, but, you know, there's some things you can learn out of it, you know, whether, you know, it's just more time that you need on the track, or how to use that to keep learning to better yourself on throttle, you know, applying the throttle, or even coming down, hitting your pit box, you know, even under caution so you don't mess it up. But we're going to get back under green. 70 gets out there. Gets a nice start over the 70. We'll see how much the 70 of Travis Noble is going to try to hold off the 7 of Billy Rickett.
Right now, I mean, if they're smart, obviously teammates work together here, you know, until maybe the last 5 laps to go, almost Talladega or Daytona style, to try and keep that field behind them and then settle it amongst each other for the last couple laps here. But I don't think Bryce Saucier has got the same thing in mind, as he's looking to already break them up and maybe just go right to the lead here, a little 2-for-1 special on the front stretch, as he's already alongside the 7, not enough of a run to get alongside the 70, but Saucier looking for that top spot once again.
18 just clawed his way back up to the front, just like Billy Rickett, and now they're battling side by side. And I'm sure Travis Noble is like, keep battling. So, you know, teammates are not, you know, sometimes you just want to get that win. You know, Travis Noble's been another one of those drivers, just wrong spot, wrong time a lot of weeks. And right now, in the right spot. Is it the right time, though? So 20 laps to go. Travis Noble's your leader. Bryce Saucier up there trying to take the lead on the outside, and Billy Rickett and Shane Wielden to the top 4 there.
Yeah, I haven't really talked too much about it. Wielden, he's been up there quite a bit here tonight, and certainly a mix in this race. And see the 3 starting to creep up there as well. Again, a lot of players still involved here. A lot of guys can still get this win done, and the laps are starting to tick away. It is 19 laps to go now here at Kansas, and in the midst of a little bit of a green flag run right now, and hopefully we can see this thing get to the end under green, because there's some good racing right now. A lot of good battling, 2 wide, some drivers going 3 wide, some drifting up the track a little bit on entry, but nothing to see here. We keep going green.
keep going green as everybody's trying to like catch them cars just a little bit, get them sideways, and you see the big dives down to the bottom, and you know, that's where it kind of stems, you know, where those are coming from. It's the drivers getting a little bit loose, and then finally it connects. So these drivers are doing what they need to do to finish it off, but is it enough? Will they get a top 3, or top 5, or even possibly a win? We won't know but for another 18 laps as this thing's starting to come down here with 191 Motorsports.
Good run here for the drivers, and again, now finally starting to click some laps off, and good battling here. I mean, I'd say at the front, but it's all throughout the field. A lot of still 2 wide action here. It looks like maybe the 3 wide is kind of settled down for now, because I think everybody's kind of going at it right now, 2 by 2 through most of the field here. Even up there at the front, as you got Rickett and Saucier doing battling, as Noble is kind of getting shifted back here. Maybe a little 3 wide there is maybe some bumping and banging, rubbing through the corners, but that is going to be a little bit more than rubbing. That's going to be rubbing some fenders here, runner. Another caution.
Richard Hartman getting involved in this one here. Just we'll go back and take a check, or a check to see what was happening. As we kind of see that there. See the scrubbing car get a little bit loose. 65 getting scared just a little bit. Runs down the track to stay out of it. But Hartman down on that apron needs to get back up before the corner comes up. Ends up coming across the nose of the 65.
I'll get off the Yeah, unfortunately for Hartman, I know he's been involved in a couple of incidents here tonight, and that car smoking right there tells me meatball in play, and gonna need a fast repair for sure on that 52 if he's got one left. With all the carnage here tonight, I'd almost feel like forget a 0X. I think if he finished with a fast repair that you didn't use, you have to get some bonus points just for that.
Yeah, I don't have the good majority of the fast repairs were used here tonight, and obviously some major damage on Hartman's machine. But Henderson, Hartman, and Brennan all with meatballs this time around.
Let's just stack the field up here one more time. It'll be close to 10 laps to go when we get this thing back to green flag racing. So getting towards the end of this one, a little bit of a caution fest here tonight, but again, you know, it can happen, and especially again, you see how racy Kansas is tonight, and it's great. It looks awesome on screen when there's enough room being given, but it just takes one little mistake, and a car missing the entry, a car slipping up a little bit, a car getting up into the wall, and because of all the cars all over the place, it can wreck a lot of cars as well. Luckily, most of these cautions here tonight have just been a couple of cars involved. You know, we've only had maybe 1 or 2, you know, quote unquote big ones that multiple cars were involved in, but it's been rough for some of the drivers that you're kind of seeing them unfortunately being caught up in multiple incidents here tonight, the 52 being one of them. But quite a few takers to pit road here, Jimmy. We're going to get this thing back underway, and we'll see maybe some fresh tires on some of these drivers in the back, see if they're going to put them to work.
Yeah, looking at the when everybody was in. Hardy up front was in on lap 100. Jones was in on 91. And then Helms, McAllister, Brino, and Ively were all in at 100. Jordan was in at 91, and Osborne was at 91. Garner, the last one of those kind of, you know, when they were in last, was in on lap 100. So your top 10 have been in before that 100 mark, and now these drivers coming in here at 111 definitely going to give them the edge when it comes to newer tires, and there's a lot of them that came in. So we got Saucier, Rickett, Rakes, Wheeldon, Henderson, Noble, Bierman, Sweeto, and then Anderson, Harris, Pierre, and Inyard. So a lot of good tires out there if they've got them. Definitely the fuel to go the rest of the way. I think the drivers up front are okay on fuel, and I'm sure they'll be wanting more cautions as they've been granted that so far here tonight. So, you know, it's not a bad call if you're not the fastest car. You went ahead and stayed out this time around.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a gamble one way or another. I mean, you come in, you want to take some fresh tires. If the thing goes green, maybe you have a chance to pick off a few positions and can get a better spot than where you're running. But a lot of these drivers out here know that there's been a bunch of cautions here tonight, and there's a good chance that there may be some more, especially now we're coming down to the end of it. So anyone that's up front, I'm sure you don't want to give up that track position. You want to stay up there. You want to try and get this thing done and try and get the W here tonight. And right now, Hardy and Jones are going to be the ones on the front row. McAllister and Helms in row number 2. Pace cars off. Field back to the restart zone. And we're back to racing one more time here at Kansas.
And a little check up there on the inside. Not too much, but I see some of the cars getting a little uncomfortable as they got this thing back under green. And now it's watching these drivers coming through, the likes of Billy Rickett with the newer tires. Is this what he needed in order to make it? Or will another caution fly and they get involved here? But behind, they continue to race heavy. We'll go back here with a 16, probably some 3 wide. As you can see, they're almost 3 wide now. So,
maybe more than 3 wide. I got a little spicy at the front right there for sure as we cross the line. 11 laps to go, and you got to be careful on that entry, and that's why right there, because the yellow car there, I think it was Travis Noble on the bottom. You take a shallow entry on the bottom, and it's going to want to push up, and luckily everybody able to save it on that one, but now it's go time, Jimmy. I completely understand that you want to get racy right now because it's go time here at Kansas. Time to go.
Yes, go time here, and could be the most intense of the situation of the race here tonight, as everybody is gonna, now is the time, they make those moves. But you see the 33 come down, hit tag the 20, he's got to back off. So the 33 and the 20 kind of get together, pushes the 20 back just a little bit. Got the scrimmage Jordan about to take a 3 wide. Billy Rickett is down to the inside. Travis Noble looking down. Maybe not trying to take out the 7, but to the point there is probably had a better run to the 7. The 70 did, that is. But up front, it is the number 30 of Easy Hardy. Gary Breland has made his way back up there and is just retaking the lead. 18 of Bryce Saucier coming alive up on that high side. The 17 of Tanner McAllister doing a fantastic job, up 21 spots here tonight. So great job by the 17. But we have 8 laps to go here at Kansas.
Oh, and we're gonna have a wreck at the front, and this is going to possibly be a big one. As looked like it was right there in like second, third place. They were battling, and unfortunately, that's not where you want to see the caution start. We'll take a look at that here one more time. And yeah, a few cars getting involved, but really I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. But you see some cars on the side, not really what you want to see right there, especially this late in the race.
Yeah, especially when these incidents happen towards the front, Carl. It's and this late. The drivers are trying to want to make every spot up that they can, and to get the points. They trying to deserve here tonight. But really sending it in there. Put some of the cars at risk, and hopefully they have enough time or repairs or fast repair to get them right back out on track. So but we got 7 laps to go. I think when this thing's all said and done, we should be sitting about 5 laps to go when they go back.
Yeah, getting close to like green, white, checkered time. Definitely not there just yet. I would think there'd be maybe about 4 laps to go when we get this thing back under green, and be real surprised, other than cars involved in the incident, if we see anybody come in to lose track position, unless you're towards the back of the field here and you have a set of tires left to maybe take a flyer, and instead of settling for a 15th, 18th position, maybe you can get a couple positions here at the end. But I think anybody at the front not going to want to give up track position.
No, not many people are going to want to give up track position at this point in time, and especially if they've been involved in incidents, or just especially recently. Gary Breland being one of those, and now, one of the cars up front, with some fairly new tires, if I'm not mistaken, last in on lap 100. McAllister was in a lap 100, but then you have the 7 of Billy Rickett, Samito, and Noble all on a little fresher tires, hopefully, as they were in a lap 111. Then you got Paul Helm sitting in 6th, Rakes in 7th, Ivy is in 8th. He was out. Eric last came in at lap 100, and then you have Wielden and Bierman both also in at 111. So Thomas Osborne doing the long con here. He was in a lap number 91. So it's been a little while since he has visited, but you can see on the screen the drivers with meatballs. You got Scott Henderson, Bryce Saucier, Brennan, and Hartman. Not Brennan. Brennan's out.
I mean, one of these days, 72. One of these days, that 72 will make Renee proud, but it looks like, unfortunately, another night that Scott Henderson not exactly having a good night in the 72, but he's not alone. I mean, like Jimmy mentioned, all those meatballs that are there and now probably done for the race. I would assume, maybe some drivers that towed back to the pits and they still have a fast repair, but given everything that's going on here tonight, I'm not surprised at this point that we're losing some drivers, but we don't got that much left, and as I mentioned, you have 4 laps to go here when we get this thing back to green. Will this be the last restart? Is the question, because we still have some green-white checkers to use if need be. But hopefully we don't get to that point. Hopefully we get the winner decided right now, as we got Gary Breland on the front row. McAllister has just about made the back to front here tonight, as I started way back there tonight. Now in 2nd place. Billy Rickett, though, pole sitter in 3rd, and then we got Semido, new driver here tonight, looking to make a give a debut here and survive Kansas and maybe get the win.
Got me mid yawn. Yeah, some good action about to go down here as the lights are off on the pace car. They are in turn number 3, getting ready to enter 4, getting ready to exit. So here comes the pace car coming down any moment now. Take that car to the left. It gets down in that pit lane, and the cars are ready to go. You see some of the flames shoot up the side as the drivers switch gears, and they get on that loud pedal as they get a nice solid start here. All kind of grouped up, and I'm sure that's what the 11 wants to kind of do, kind of keep that 11 boxed in behind him. And you're kind of at danger of opening up any kind of lane for the 7, but he's going to go ahead and push the number 11 and try to get that run. I'm sure you'll see this 11 maintain that bottom lane and not give Billy any sort of advantage to get underneath that 11. We're going to come around here. We're going to take the flag here, and that will take us down to 3 laps to go. Number 11 is still your leader.
I mean, I know how many races this season we had 6-7 action, but just the other way it was 7-6. Well, now tonight we got 7-11 action, but it's just 11-7. So either way, we got the 7 up front. Can he get it done? Garrett Breland looks like he is trying to do everything he can to keep that 7 behind him, and we'll see if that comes to the detriment of either of the drivers. Right now they are 1-2 back to the line. We got 2 to go.
2 more laps to go. They need to make 1 more round, but they get it to 20 touches. It's got to go into that turn 1 hard. 41 or 64 up in the wall. 20. They're still going forward, and the caution will fly. We will not end this thing here. We will get a green-white checker attempt, but yeah, rough one there for the 20 is below that. On that apron, Carl bites another one.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I get the want to get that thing back up onto the track, and I'm not sure how much he was holding up, but it looked like he tried to drive out of that, and unfortunately, that's not the thing to do. You get down there in that apron, and you're going to have to just kind of concede and give up the effort, slow down a little bit, try and keep that thing. If anything, you're going to drift back up on the track most likely, but try and keep it down to the bottom. Unfortunately, it looks like he stays in it, and that's going to bring out a caution involving quite a few drivers instead of just 1 or 2.
Might actually see a few drivers start sitting out here soon and keep it up at this rate. I'll go ahead and take this back live and bring up the tower, and you can see the board littered with meatballs. Pierre got a meatball, Ivy and Wielden all with meatballs. Henderson in the pits with the meatball. Hartman still has a meatball. Yeah, it's definitely Italian night. Maybe it's dinner time, Carl.
I mean, last I checked, Kansas is 1.5 miles, right? You don't consider this a short track, but we're seeing some kind of short track action here tonight with all these cautions for sure. But again, it's green white checkered time right now, so hopefully again we can get this thing done on the first attempt of green white checkered. But these drivers definitely are quite racy here tonight. And would not be surprised if this thing, unfortunately, ends under caution, which is something that we really hate to see. Really hate when that happens. We like to see them get this thing done under green.
Yeah, it's just obviously the driver's running hard here. Obviously, it's the end of the race, and they're trying to get the best finish they can. The bad part is if you don't have that fast repair in your pocket, you're coming in and you might have to sit for a couple laps. And there's a lot of drivers still with the amount of action that's been on the track. There's a lot of cars out there still in the lead lap. So if you're running in the front, you get into an incident, you're going towards the back, and you only have a couple laps to do it. The odds of going from last to first here are pretty slim. Not that it can't happen, but you would have to go through a big pile-up or mess or something that happened up front immediately. So things definitely tense here as this race is coming down to a finish. But yeah, this is what the drivers, they kind of put themselves up for tonight. So let's see what can happen here, and let's see if they can make it through this first green-white checker attempt.
Yeah, first attempt at the green-white checkered here, and I think that the big thing is Gary Breland is going to be your control car, and that's exactly where he wants to be, at the front here once again, and he's going to have Billy Rickett right there alongside. So we'll see who gets the better jump. We'll see if Rickett can stick with him this time, and maybe give him a bit of a run. I mean, it may be a situation where you need to make a crazy move here on the restart, because you don't know if this thing is going to go right back under another caution. So now it's way past go time. Now you have to get it done potentially right here on the start, and you worry that there's going to be more incidents because of that.
Yeah, and Renee out there, so they want to know if they want to get to Munchkin Land. They need something to get them tires to stick. Maybe it is a lollipop. The 11 out there right now wants to get things done. They're in turn 4. Pace car's about to come down the final area here. We're going to see these drivers light it back up and try to get this thing to the end. We're going to give you a live coverage here, see how it's going to happen. Who's going to be your winner? Is it going to be the 11 of Gary Breland? Will Billy Rickett finally get his first win? Will Travis Double collect a win, or maybe somebody new like Tanner McAllister, or even Wade's up there in P number 8. Even Steve Harris is up there at P number 6. So a lot of things have changed with a lot of the incidents that have happened on this track.
Well, pace car lights are out. It's time to get this thing green, white, checkered, and hopefully we can get this thing finally done and dusted here. But it's been a racy type of night. Unfortunately, not too much racing under green flag conditions. But either way, we will have a winner. We will have a top 3. We will have some interviews once this thing is done. May need to let the drivers catch their breath, wipe the sweat off, because I'm sure they've been working pretty hard out here tonight.
A lot of work being done on the track. A lot of drivers have had to go from the front to the back to the back to the front. There's plenty of racing that was had here tonight, and some of it was good. Some of it was could have been a little better, I guess. But either way, this race will come down to an end. We'll just see how it's going to come down to an end. And the pace car is in and getting ready to go. And the 11 fires off here on the inside, gets a little jump there on the 7 that's on the outside. A little teammates battle. Does look like this 11's going to drift up to try to take away some of that momentum from the 7 and keep those drivers battling back there. But he needs to hold off now the likes of the 70, the 16. But we see Mike Casey hit the wall, and in the background, And yeah, caution's going to come out again, Carl. So now it comes down to the fact that hopefully these drivers have enough fuel in the tank to make it around here, I think, for another chance. I don't think that was the last one.
I believe they normally have 2.
This was...
Yeah, so this would be...
Is this 2? No.
No, this I think is going to be green, white, checkered. It's at number 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's all kind of running together, unfortunately, here tonight. I mean, Gary Breland again is in the spot here to try and get this thing done. He's still the leader, still the control car. If we do have one more restart, here's a look at the caution.
Yeah, 62 just getting up in the Wade, ends up tagging the 33. They go up into the wall, and you can see the 21 doing a 180 or 1080.
Way more than a 180.
a few 180s, but you see the 6 getting collected there a little bit. Ends up taking a ride up to the wall. 64 Paul Helms gets involved, but most of the incident here was between the 21 and the 62. And yeah, I don't know if I want to go on board here with Wade, but I'm thinking I want to visit the cockpit of Wade, as he had probably the most scenic view of a track going the spinning on top of another car. So we'll go ahead and we'll hop in the cockpit and see what Wade experienced here for this this lap. As you can see him coming down.
I mean, I wonder what it looks like from inside the. I wonder what it looks like from the inside of the cockpit of the 62 there of Richard Hartman, seeing seeing the underbelly of Wade Enyart there going around a couple times. I mean, Jimmy, we got sponsor on sponsor crime here at the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting their TV time for sure. So we'll go ahead and see if I can find Bryson Anderson here and a number 62, and we'll see what he sees here, and we'll play this back here. I'll pause it quick so you guys can get a cockpit view here as to what happens here between the two drivers, and we'll hit play here and let it go full speed. But you'll see Wade hop up on top, and you can just see he doesn't even know the car's on top until he's facing the wrong way. So yeah, I wonder if I'm sure the noises were heard on top of the hood, but yeah, this will be the last green white checker attempt here tonight. So some overtime here as the drivers are trying to decide who's the winner. So, and this is I think probably the most dangerous of all green white checkers, Carl. This is the last and final attempt, and you know, some drivers are really gonna, if they get a run, they're gonna take it, and you know, they're not gonna hold back here, and they're gonna have to trust them tires. Hopefully they're warmed up enough. Again, we're still on the fence. Who's going to be our winner here tonight? Can the 11 pull this out? Or will it be the 70, the 16, the 17 up there? Steve Harris is up there in the top 6 as well. So any one of these drivers can really make something happen here, and or try to make something happen, or be in a wall. Or, you know, now could be even Zane Bierman back there. He's still kind of hanging out back there at P number 10. But, you know, if the front gets together, he could find himself, you know, and have to dip, dodge, and dash. But a little bump in here as they check up the 11, trying to slow him down a little bit, but they're going to get off to a start here, and off the way they go here for the last and final time of the night. The 11 and the 70 are side by side. The 11 cannot go up in front of the field like they did before, so now he has to run the bottom line and to set the outside line. Gonna get a pretty decent run out of turn number 2. They're going to drag race down the backstretch. You're going to see a lot of drivers trying to push each other. The 70, they're going to go ahead and pull down in front of the 11 and takes the lead here. But the 7 of Billy Rickett on that outside gets a little bit loose, is not able to get there. The 11 shoots there, but Billy Rickett might be in it. No, and it goes across to the sideways, and it's going to be, I don't know.
Well, they took the white flag, so it's not over. Is the question, Jimmy?
Oh yeah,
you're racing back to the line right now. The yellow is not out, so right now is Michael Rakes in front, and it looks like he may end up getting the Evel Knievel gift on this one as well, and he is going to walk away. Your winner coming out of turn number 4. It is going to go to the 16 of Michael Rake. Second place looks like it goes to Tanner McAllister. Pretty close there for third. And who exactly that was for third. And looks like Gary Breland giving even a little bit more love there to the 17. But what a heck of a finish here, and we're definitely going to need SDK and/or iRacing and/or admins. I'm not even sure who's going to tell us what the final order of this one was.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back, kind of see what happens. You already seen something kind of developing there up with Billy Rickett, and obviously people pushing for that final lap. Let me see, Billy Rickett. I thought Billy Rickett had it as he was sliding across the finish line there.
Yeah, this was just a white flag.
Yeah, that was just a white flag. It was interesting. It's almost like it was the final lap here. But you can see right here the cars together. And Billy Rickett trying to keep that gap there low. 70 able to block, and netcode off the 70 of teammates sends the 7 sideways. So that is where that happened, and obviously the 70 breaks way there and ends up going into the wall. And you see the 3 kind of getting it's going to go sent up across the track. Everybody's getting checked up. The 11 is going to be able to work through there. 31 escapes. Some people slowing down. Some people going through the grass. There's all kinds of things going on around here. Does look like Breland wasn't able to hold on to it as they were sending it and then go back up to the front here. Michael Rake's escaping here. I'll speed it up. And it wasn't over. It was the 17 of Tanner McAllister was there. Steve Harris was almost at that point. He's got a pretty decent run, had a run to the outside. The 11 was coming, sees a small gap and not able to, tries to go down to the bottom to get at least third, but doesn't quite get enough there to edge out Steve Harris. So what a lineup here and what a finish here. Kind of crazy night here. Definitely filled with all kinds of things, and I'm sure we'll get the people up here in the booth to talk to shortly. But for our race finale is what I have your winner as Michael Rakes in the number 16 here tonight to over Tanner McAllister, and then Steve Harris pulls off a P number 3 after being pretty quiet all night. Gary Breland in 4th, and then Shane Wielden, Mitchell Samito, Matthew Jordan, Douglas Ivy, Chris Perry, Zane Bierman for your top 10. And then 11th was Travis Noble, Thomas Osborne, Zach Pierre, Paul Helms, Billy Rickett, Andrew Jones, Dale Garner Jr., Bryce Sassier, and then the rest of the field here back in 19th, Easy Hardy, Ken Ewell, Bryson Anderson, Wade Inyart, Michael Casey back in 23rd, Scott Henderson, Tony Brennan, and Richard Hartman for your 26-car field. I don't know if Carl...
Just waiting for a couple more of the drivers in the top 3 to join the waiting room, and then we'll get the interviews underway for our top 3 here tonight. As you talked about a little late in the race there, Jimmy. I'm not sure if you can go from the back to the front unless there's a big incident or something like that. Well, I mean, there you go. that's exactly what can happen, unfortunately, and a lot of the drivers at the front end up getting taken out here late. And it allows Michael Rakes to pull the stunt moves and that Evel Knievel paint scheme to get this thing done here tonight. But it looks like we got 2 of our drivers here in the waiting room. So we'll go up and pull up Jimmy, or actually you may have to pull him up. The second place finisher here, the 17 of Tanner McAllister.
We'll go grab Tanner McAllister in the booth here. Tanner, Jimmy Carl up in the booth here. Obviously, one of those nights where it's plenty of interesting things happen, filled with cautions, but you're able to persevere here tonight and get that number 17 up in the front. So welcome to the booth. To give us a little rundown of how your race was.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Good to be here. Tonight I started at the back. It wasn't so easy, trying to get up there. Some of these guys, they race good and, defensively and offensively. And just being able to get there, feels good, for self-completion.
Yeah, it's obviously we watched you a little bit, covered you a little bit here and there throughout the race, and the drivers out there. Obviously, the track seemed very racy, and the drivers were able to kind of go wherever they wanted, with the exception of turn 4. Did you have any problems getting off of 4 tonight, being real loose?
Here and there. I just said it took me 75 laps, to figure out the correct line. The top was nice, but it just wasn't as fast as the bottom.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that as a driver, get out there and it takes a little bit of time to kind of figure out the line that works for you. And it can be challenging depending on the day or depending on the time, depending on the air temperature, track temperature. But you did a great job here tonight. And, you obviously, like I said, you're able to overcome and finish up there in Pete number 2. So we want to say congratulations and recognize that and give you a chance for any shouts you might have at number 17.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Of course, I'd like to, shout out PTSD awareness. Anybody that's battling that or having problems, there's always a way to overcome and persevere. There's always somebody out there, that you can lean on and talk to. Just don't let those things come down on you. I'd also like to give a shout out to some of the other guys on track, for helping relay some information, just being able to talk through it and work together and just make everything great for tonight.
Really appreciate the shout outs and a huge shout out to, yes, PTSD is a thing, and it can be anything. You don't need to be in the military to have it. So it's definitely something to reach out and talk to other people out there. So thanks for the shout outs, man. Again, congratulations on that second place. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
That is the driver of the 17, Tanner McAllister, getting it done for you for second place. Third place here tonight, we'll jump back here as it's going to be Stephen Harris coming home in third. Stephen, clearly you had a top 3 car here all night. I mean, we see the pace out there. I mean, do you understand what just happened here at the end? Are you still kind of putting the pieces together here that you finished on the podium?
Carl, first of all, thank you and Jimmy for what you do. We appreciate you so much. I got to tell you, I'm still shaking. This was like crazy. I had no idea that I could possibly get up to the front. I ran 25th most of the night because things just kept happening in front of me, and I'm trying to stay out of trouble, save the car. It was nuts, dude. And I don't know what happened. It was just so fortunate. There at the end, I was able to wiggle through some things. I clipped a couple of guys when they were doing their spin deal, but it didn't hurt me too bad, so I was able to keep going. This was so much fun, I got to tell you. This is the best finish I've had with 191 Motorsports and Core as a group, and I'm just tickled to death over this tonight. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm tickled to death, man. I just got butterflies.
Well, I mean, listen, sometimes it's right place, right time, and you were at the right place there with everybody else having a bad time at the end for sure, coming to the end. But I mean, it's a lot of times you have races like this. More often than not, it's on short tracks, like a Bristol or Martinsville or somewhere where it's just survive and you'll find yourself a top 10, top 5 pretty easily. But here tonight, I don't know what it was, if it was just the fact that Kansas was just super racy here tonight or what, but the boys were having at it.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I was in P25 behind Mike Casey in P24, and I knew that one of us was going to get the lucky dog, and I don't know how I got around him. I got around him, and then the caution flew, and I got a first lucky dog. I got a second lucky dog, and it was like last place to third. I'm just like, I can't believe it. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Well, listen, buddy, congrats on your first CRN podium, let alone your first podium here on 191. So congrats on the finish here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, it's going to sound kind of weird, but I eat at Chili's here in Ocala, Florida, almost every day because I'm old, I'm fat, I don't cook. And when I walk in there, it's kind of like going into Norm, with a Norm. And I walk in there and they go, Steve. And I'm talking about Core and I'm talking about 191 and how much fun I'm having with you guys. Even on the bad days, I'm having a great time. If you're all not in a group, you need to get in a group. A big shout out to Chris. He's one of my great servers, and Tony and Steven and Pat that runs the door there. They're all always asking about Core, how I'm doing, because, you know, this is the only fun an old fat guy like me's got to do. So appreciate you guys so very much. My kids, they're all think this is the greatest thing, keeps Pops busy and out of the bars and stuff like that. So it's just good stuff. Y'all not in a league, or you're thinking about getting in a league, Core's a great place to be. Stop in and give a look.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with Chili's. I could make a dinner out of the chips and salsa, let alone the chicken crispers. So forget about it. So I hear you on that.
Thanks, guys, very much.
All right, buddy. Congrats again. That is your third place finisher tonight, the 134 of Stephen Harris, getting it done. Last but not least, Jimmy is going to be your winner, Evil Knievel, also known as the 16 of Michael Rakes.
Oh, heck yeah.
Mike, this is Jimmy Carl up in the booth, and I made the comment tonight that your car looks like Evil Knievel, and I think you had to be a little bit of Evil Knievel tonight to pull off this victory. It was a crazy one here to watch. It was a crazy one. Didn't know who was going to win, what was going to happen, who was going to send it. It was definitely a crazy race, but we want to say congratulations, man, for getting this thing done and being able to pull off the victory here tonight, surviving the chaos, and you know, enjoy a little bit of the evening, I guess, on the upside. So give us a little rundown how it was out there, because we know you've had your fair share here tonight of kind of dipping and dodging and making your way through some things.
Well, I think I ran into just about half the spins that we had and somehow didn't get damage in them. So I got very fortunate throughout most of the race. I don't know how I avoided that last track, I'm going to be honest. Just got really lucky, I guess. Worked out. I mean, that's about it.
A little bit of luck goes a long way, and I guess it did with the Evil Knievel, as did it for many years. So we want to just want to say congratulations, man. It was a top-notch survivability here tonight. So give you a little time for any shouts you might have at number 16.
Oh yeah, I just want to thank y'all for broadcasting. I want to thank Mike and all the admins for putting on this league. It's a lot of fun. Encourage everybody to join if you can. You know, drive a little bit cleaner than the average person in this league seems to be able to do. But, yeah, you know, it's all fun. Yeah.
Again, I appreciate the shout outs, and yeah, go out there, have some fun. 191 is a great place here on Sunday nights. I got a great fan base and some great drivers out there, and look forward to many more races to come. So again, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 16 of Michael Rakes, figuring out a way to avoid the incidents at the right time and get the win here tonight at Kansas. And I guess a lot of the other drivers may need to visit Oz and maybe hope for a brand new car for the next time they come here to Kansas, because plenty of them torn up here tonight. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Beyond the Edge, Beyond the Edge, Kim's Cups and More, and One Vision EMS and Transports for all the help that they do keeping the lights on here at 191. I want to thank all the fans out there in CRN Nation for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. We have plenty of racing the rest of the week. For myself and Jimmy from the Kansas Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide jumps in from out